All right, so this is angle addition and angle bisector. So angle addition, I already did a video that was called Introduction to Segment Addition. And then I believe I also did segment addition and midpoint. So those were two other videos. Angle addition is very similar to segment addition. It just means that you have a larger angle and you can kind of chop it up by adding other rays here. But even if you chop it up, so like if you think of a pie, a round pie here, if I chop up the pie, I have pieces of pie, but I haven't changed how much pie there is. I've just cut it up. So it's kind of the same idea with an angle. If I have an angle here like this, and I tell you what the degree of the angle is, and then I chop it, I haven't changed the angle. All I've done is given you two pieces. So that's all angle addition relates to, is that you can add these two pieces back together to get to the whole angle. So it's just kind of a roundabout way of explaining that. You're not really changing things, you're just chopping them up. And then angle bisector, that's another term that we need to define. So bisect, bi means two, sect means to cut. So it means to cut it in two. In this case, it means to cut it in two equal pieces. So whenever you hear the word bisect, whether it's angle or segment or whatever it's doing, bisect means it cuts it into two equal pieces. All right, so let's take a look at this one. In the figure below, and I really like to draw my figures so that I can draw out exactly what it is they're talking about here. So I have L, N, M, J, and K. And it says, whoop, J, K, M, whoops, help if I was going the right direction there, J, K, M, there we go, like this, J, K, M is 90 degrees. So I'm going to put a big 90 in here that's going across all of them in that different color. And then it says, I'll do this in green. So it says NKM is 31 degrees in there. And it also gives us this little bit of information. It says KN, so this line here, I'll do in black. Sorry, that's kind of ugly. Bisects LKM. And I'm going to need to grab me a different color here because they're getting a little too fancy with all their colors. So let's go with purple. I'll go with a bright purple here. So it's a little bit more pink. So I'm going to go LKM. So this line that I did in black bisects LKM. What that means is that if it bisects, these two pieces have to be the same. So if I know this is 31, I already know this has to be 31. Bisect means to cut it in half. So if I know what this half is, I know what that half is. And then they want me to find JKL. So they want me to find this angle at the top here. I'll do this kind of in a yellow. So they want me to find what this angle is up here. JKL. And the arc always goes from side to side. And that's telling you that's the angle mark. And usually it's a bit closer here. I just wanted to put it out here so you could see it a little easier. And I apologize. I know that's very colorful and a little messy looking. But I like to do them in different colors as we go so you can kind of follow along for what I'm doing here. So if we know the whole thing is 90, that was one of the first bits of information we were given. And this one's 31. We knew that this bisects because they told us that. So that's how we know that if this half is 31, this half is 31, and the whole thing is 90. We have a piece missing here. We know it's 31, 31, and something to make 90. So all we have to do is come down here and go 90 minus what we have, and that'll tell us what we have left over for this piece here. So you could do 90 minus 31 or 90 minus 62. It's a little easier to do this one in my head, so I'm gonna, I know I said in my head, but I'll borrow just so that you can kind of see it as I'm doing it here. So I end up with 28. So you'd end up with the same thing here. If you went 90 minus 31 minus another 31, you'd end up with 28 degrees here. So if you go down to the bottom here, that's exactly what they show you. So let's go ahead and practice. I know this one's a little funky with all my colors, but hopefully that's not too horrible to follow along. I'm going to change this. So I have D, E, and it's not about drawing this accurately. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of drawing it so that you can label a bunch of stuff on here. All right, so here's our figure. And I'm going to do my first color here. So it says ABD. So ABD is 92 degrees. So I'm going to write 92 degrees down here in red instead of writing it through here because that's going to be a little confusing. It's not just a simple right angle mark. It's actually a degree. And then it tells us that BC, so BC, this line here, whoa, went way off the line there. So this line here, kind of close enough, bisects A, B, D. So AC, and I did not draw that accurately at all. It does not look like a bisector, but that's okay. Theirs actually looks a little better as far as AC. If you ignored BE here, it does actually look like BC comes through and cuts this directly in half. Like this angle looks the same as this one. Mine does not look very nice, but it still works just fine. So we know that this angle has to be the same as this whole angle. Again, that does not look pretty on mine because I did not draw that accurately. But we don't trust the model. What we trust is the information we're being given. All right, sorry, hold on just a minute. Let me get back to this. All right, and we also know that BE, so this line here, which, let's see, I'm running out of colors a little bit here. So we'll go back to kind of a purple. So BE, whoa, went way off the line there. Go. BE, this one, bisects, and let's do this in yellow, C, B, D. So bisects these two here. So I know that this line, or this angle, has to be the same as this one. Bisect means to cut in half. So that means that this line should have been drawn in a way that these two pieces are the same. So now it wants me to find angle, and let's do this one in orange, EBD. So it wants this angle here. So it wants one of these yellow pieces here. All right, so we were given only a little bit of actual measurement, but we were given a lot of information here. So we know the whole thing that was originally in red is 92 degrees. And then the whole angle is also cut in half, even though I know my diagram is very horrible. So what we first want to do is take this 92 and divide it in half. And we get, what do we get? 46, I believe. So if I click 92 and I divide by 2, I get 46 degrees. So I know, and I apologize, I didn't change the color here, but each one of these is 46. So each one of the blue arcs is 46. And then we're also told that this blue arc here, going across, is cut in half again, because here's a yellow and a yellow, which one of my yellow is the orange that we're looking for. So I'm going to take 46 and I'm going to cut it in half again. So if I do 46 and I go divided by 2, I get 23. So I know my answer is 23 in this one. So it's 23 degrees. I'm going to close a couple of things here. And I'm going to type in 23. Yay! So these ones are a little bit more involved to set up, but they're not terribly crazy as long as you go through. You have to draw your diagram and label them. I don't know if the colors are helping, because it does seem like a lot on some of that for the colors. M, K, J, L, and I was trying to do a little closer to that drawing. I still don't think I did a very good job on that one as far as getting it super close. All right, so the first bit of information they give us is the whole angle here is 79 degrees. So the whole thing is 79 degrees. And then they tell us that, and we'll go in blue here, that LKM, so this portion here is 46 degrees. And again, I'm just writing them out here in the different colors so we can see them, because if I write it in here, it's a little bit funny. And then they also tell us that KN there, the last one in orange, cuts, let's see, we'll do it in red, cuts LKM, so actually the same one we just did, it cuts this angle in half, which means that this angle and this angle are the same. So if I know one of them, I know both of them. And we know the whole thing is 46, so we're just going to divide by 2, and that will get us 23 degrees. So we have 23, and we have 23. So I just went ahead and filled those in so that we can start filling in, because they want J, K, N. So they actually want, I'm going to click on purple here. So they want this whole thing here, not just one of the pieces. They actually want both of them together. So we know part of it because I just divided. We knew that this whole angle here was 46. This orange line cuts it in half. 46 cut in half is 23. So 23 and 23. If we know the whole angle, remember going back to that first bit of information we were given, is 79, and we have 46 here, or 23 and 23, I can go 79 minus 46. We can put these back together. 23 and 23 is 46. I'm going to subtract. So I know that this angle here is 33 degrees. Remember, they want both put together. So I have to go 33 plus 23, and I get 56 degrees. All right, we have one more of these. That one wasn't too terribly bad as far as the colors go. Erase this stuff. Click next. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I guess I'm going to draw this one in pink first. With B, A, C, and E. And oof, I don't like the way that one came off. It's supposed to come from here like this. B and B. Oh, that one was supposed to be B. Okay. So let's go ahead and change colors. We'll go black first. So it says A, B, D. So it's giving us the whole angle again here. So the whole angle is 90 degrees. So I can write 90 down here. This one I'm also okay with just writing that 90 degree there, just because it's an easy symbol to throw in there. And then they tell us that EBD, so this one here, hopefully that red and pink don't mesh too much. So EBD, so this bottom angle here, don't like that bottom line. There we go. So this angle here is 23 degrees. And then they tell us that BE, so I will put this in kind of bright green here. So BE bisects, and let's go with blue, CBD. So it bisects this blue that I just outlined. This green line bisects the blue angle, which means that this angle and this angle are the same. Well, we know this angle is 23. So that means that this one has to also be 23. Remember, bisect means cut in half. So right away, I can fill in a bit of the information there. And then what they want is ABC. So ABC, I'm going to put an arc in here. So if we know the whole thing is 90, and we know this piece is 23 and this piece is 23, all I have to do is take 90 and subtract 23 and 23. Now again, I can do 90 minus 46. I can combine these two to just make this subtraction a little easier. So I have 8, I have 10. So that gives me 4, and that gives me 4. So I know it's 44 degrees. And if I were to do it here, if I did 90 minus 23 minus 23, I'd also get 44 degrees. So, yay! A whole nother one down. Look at that.